Hi, my name is Amy. Today we're going to do a gentle yoga practice for about 25 to 30 minutes. And so you'll need a yoga mat if you have one. If you happen to have a yoga block, you can bring that in. If you have blankets, you can bring that in. Otherwise, I'll offer options to use props or to not use them. So you'll go ahead and start on your back. Take your time to arrive. Okay, so you'll just make sure your head has some support. If your neck feels uncomfortable, you can always take a little rolled up blanket underneath your neck. We'll just lift the head up, draw the chin towards the chest, and then let the back of the head rest, shoulders dropping down. And so with your legs, I'm in butterfly shape right now with the soles of the feet together and knees out towards either side. If that happens to feel okay, then you could do that. You can also take the feet nice and wide, knees bent, and then the knees knock inward towards each other. This is called active rest. And then, of course, you can have your legs stretched out long in what we call Shavasana pose. Find what feels comfortable for you today. And I'll just invite you to take a couple sighs out of the mouth at your own pace. Just taking big, deep breaths in through the nose and sighing it out of the mouth. And if it feels right, you could do that a couple more times. Imagine like you're just releasing any tension and stress that's ready to go and bringing in, breathing in fresh energy, perspective, prana, what we call life force in yoga. Good. And when you're ready, we'll take the right hand to the low belly and then the left hand to the heart. And just moving the arms away from the midline so that the elbows and the shoulders can relax to the floor. Just starting to notice your natural breath here. Great. The intention for our practice today is in the concept of yoga, of self-study. The Sanskrit term for self-study is svadhyaya. And svadhyaya translates as self-observation, self-study, and witness. During tumultuous times, we can certainly busy ourselves with doing and acting and reacting, reading, studying, watching, protesting, writing, and lots of really useful, important acts. The yoga believes that just as important is this inner time, this time to just press pause, to just be with yourself. And when we give ourselves this time, I believe that we can then step forward more grounded, more awake, alert, and calm. And the practice of self-study asks us to bear witness to our breath, to our bodies as we move and breathe, and to our mind and our emotions when we come to stillness. It's a very simple practice, but it's not easy. When we're asking to simply witness our emotions and our mind, it can be really difficult when we're used to the external experience, the watching, the acting. And the practice of yoga invites us to, just for now, to just notice, to just witness. So we'll start with our breath. Noticing your natural breath here as it arrives in the palms on the inhale, and as the palms drop back down and in on the exhale. Great, and then we'll start to deepen our breath, breathing in and out of the nose now if you can. Big breath in, send it down and into the belly. Feeling the right palm extend upward towards the sky with breath. We call this big Buddha belly, letting the belly expand with air. And when the urge to exhale is strong for you, nice and slow and controlled, start to release the air back down and in. Notice how the right hand drops back down and in towards the spine. And exhaling fully and completely will pave the way for a natural inhale. So just letting that breath come in, filling up belly, ribs, chest. And when the urge to exhale is strong for you, nice and slow, releasing air from the belly, ribs, and chest. And you'll just simply notice here how the breath moves in the body. Maybe there's some sticky spots, or it feels a little stuck or sludgy, and it doesn't flow as easily. And then as you exhale, you might feel like it's difficult to take a full breath out. If these are just things you may notice, you might be having a completely different experience there. When we invite ourselves to take full breaths in and out, it could very easily be one of the most important practices of yoga. So take your time with it. There's no need to force or strain here. A gentle effort is all. We'll take 3 more breaths at your own pace. You're just expanding on the inhale and fully deflating on the exhale, letting the complete breath empty and leave the body as best you can. When your next exhale completely leaves, take your time, release your arms back down at your sides. Okay. And if your knees are not bent already, go ahead and bend them in. And if they already are bent, you might shift a little side to side just to decompress the low back. Good. And then we're going to take the feet as wide as the mat, knees as wide as the mat as well. And then the arms come up for goal post. And so the elbows are in line with the shoulders if we can. Wrists and hands relax to the floor. We're going to take some staggered twist. So you'll breathe in here. As you breathe out, letting the knees stagger twist over to your right. So you go to the outer right hip and the inner left thigh. You could roll to the outer edge of your right foot and the inner edge of your left. And then you'll inhale and bring the feet back up to center, knees point to the sky. And then as you exhale, stagger twist to the left. So outer left hip, inner right. And you're not forcing here, you're just going to your own capacity. Breathing into center, and then breathing out, knees to the right. You might feel a little twist across the torso, mid-back, hips. Inhale back to center, coordinating your breath with movement. Exhale to your left. So if you need to take it slow so you can sync up your inhale as you come to center, and your exhale to the right. We incorporate our breath with movement. We have to bring balance into the nervous system, which might be really wound up right now. Good. Breathe in. As your knees come to the left side, we're going to gaze past the opposite shoulder, so gazing to the right. And then you'll inhale back up to center, plant the feet, knees up. As you exhale, knees to the right as you gaze past your left shoulder. And like this, moving with your breath. Inhale, point knees up to sky. Exhale, knees to the left as you gaze past your right. Inhale, knee points up. Exhale to the right. Gaze past your left. Good. Inhale, knees up. Exhale, the next time the knees go to the left, we're going to hold here for a few breaths. Gaze past your right shoulder. Relax in the inner thighs as much as you can. Big full belly breaths here. You have the time to breathe deeply, so take your time with it. Long, slow, complete exhale. And then when you're ready, slowly bring the knees back up. And then exhale to your right. And gaze past your left shoulder if that feels okay. Long, smooth, deep breaths in. Long, smooth, deep breaths out. Okay. And then take your time to come back to center. Release your arms down at your sides. Heel to the feet back to hip distance. And then we're going to walk our heels in as close as you can towards the hips, arms at your sides. We're going to do some bridge lifts. Grounded down through the soles of the feet. As you inhale, lift your hips off the floor as much as you comfortably can and sweep your arms up overhead. Stretching the fingertips up overhead. Let the tops of the hands rest to the floor if you can get there. And when you exhale, we're going to lower everything back down. So nice and slow, lower upper, middle, lower back, hips, and hands. And on your inhale, grounding down through the feet, sweeping your arms up overhead, stretching fingers up overhead, curling tailbone up and in. And when you're ready to exhale, nice and slow, lower upper, middle, lower back, hips, and hands. Good, and you're going to keep flowing like this with your breath. We're going to see if we can time it just so that as the hips reach up to their full potential, the arms also touch down up overhead. And then as you exhale nice and slow, we're lowering the hips and the hands at the same time too. Just about. It's okay if you don't get it right. This is just a way to work with our nervous system. We're bringing our nervous system's awareness from the brain into the body. And a lot of times these days, we're really operating from the neck up. There's a lot to think about, a lot to do, especially if your job requires that. So you're just taking the time right here, right now, to reintegrate the body with the brain. Imagine like you're recirculating energy, bringing harmony into your breath, into your body, into your mind. We're going to do two more here. Okay, good. And then let your arms rest. When you're ready, let the left leg come long onto the mat and hug your right knee into the chest. Good. Relax the neck, maybe even shake your head a little side to side. Good. So you could be holding here, let the head relax. You could be holding here at the shin or at the hamstring, whichever feels better for you and your body. And let's roll that right ankle in one direction. Good. And then pause and reverse the circles, go the other direction. Working with those feet that carry us all day. Great. And let that right foot relax. So if it feels a bit much to have this left leg long, by the way, you can always have that left foot planted to the floor, and that might ease up the tension if you need it. Right, so we're going to do a little bit of a flow here as well. So as we inhale, the arms can straighten, the right knee moves away from the body. Maybe your fingers have to release for that. And then as you exhale, pull that right knee back in towards the chest. we're just going to do that 3 more times, a little ebb and flow. Inhale, arms straighten, knee moves a little bit away from the body. Exhale, pull that right knee in. And inhale, exhale. One more. And exhale, pull it in. So next time you pull that knee in, you'll hold here, relax the shoulders, option to stay, or if you want a little core activation, you can lift your head or neck and maybe even that left leg and reach your nose to your knee. And we'll take 2 more breaths here, pressing the low back to the floor. Breathe down and into your belly, full up and out. Inhale. And then as you exhale, lower your head back down. Good. And then wherever you're at, we're going to straighten this right leg up, interlacing your hands around the right hamstring. So again, your left foot can be planted into the floor here. Now we're going to point and flex that right leg, the right foot. Good. Stretching the back of the calf. And just doing it about 2 more times. Point and flex. Good. And then letting that right foot relax. Take a breath in. And then once again, as you breathe out, pull the leg in towards you. No force. You can always have a little bend in this right knee. And then same little flow. As you inhale, move the right leg away from the body. You might have to release your fingers for that. And then as you exhale, pull it in to any amount that you need to, your stretch. Just 2 more like that. Inhale. Exhale. And the next time that right leg is hugged into the body, we'll hold your deep stretch for 2 breaths. Hamstring stretch supports the low back, especially if we've been sitting a lot. Great. And then bend that right leg and release the right foot to the floor. And then bend the left leg and hug the left knee into the chest. So the right knee can stay bent, this leg that's down, or you can straighten, your choice. And then go ahead and roll that left ankle in one direction. And then pause and go the other direction. Good. And then let it relax. We're going to do our little flow again. Inhaling, the knee moves away from the body. Exhale, pull knee to chest. Good. Inhale, move it away. And exhale, pull it in. And just 2 more like that. Full exhale, split it. And then hugging that knee in as close as you comfortably can without strain. And we're going to stay here, or if you'd like a little more core activation, breathe in. And as you breathe out, reach your nose to your knee, knee to your nose, and maybe even hover that right leg off the floor. We just have 2 more breaths here, pressing the low back into the earth, curling with your abdomen rather than the neck. Good, breathe in. And breathe out, slowly lower the head back down and relax that right leg. And then we're going to extend this left leg up to the sky, interlacing our hands around the hamstring. And go ahead and point and flex this left foot, stretching through the back of the calf and the front of the shin. Good, and when you're ready, just let that left foot relax. And we'll do that little ebb and flow again. So as you inhale, the left leg moves a little bit away from the body, so the arms may straighten, or you might have to release the fingers altogether. And then as you exhale, bend the elbows and hug that left leg in as much as you comfortably can, no strain. Flowing with your breath, inhale, move away from the body. Exhale, hug in. Inhale, a little bit away. And exhale. Good, 1 more like that. Exhale, hugging left leg in. And then we'll hold here in your deep hamstring stretch for about 3 more breaths. Full breaths in and out. A lot of people tell me before they do yoga, I'm not flexible, I can't do yoga, or I can't reach my toes. And I always say that you actually have more advantage if you're not as flexible because there's more to be gained for you. So find a place that meets your edge. People who are super flexible here have to actually go deeper and deeper to get sensation. And so if you're not, you're getting the yoga benefits quicker in a way. So embrace wherever you are at, even if you are flexible here. And then slowly bend that left leg and release the left foot to the floor. Then bend that right leg back in and roll to one side, whichever side you'd like to. Just slowly press yourself up and into a tabletop position. So tabletop is where the wrists are below the shoulders, knees are hip distance. We're spreading fingers nice and wide. We're going to move through some cat and cows. On your inhalation, tuck the toes, stretch and lengthen through the belly, lift up through the heart and chest. Gaze is up or straight ahead. And as you exhale, tops of feet press to the floor, spread the toenails across the earth, gaze inward to your belly button, looking in. And as you inhale, tuck the toes, relax the belly to the floor, lift up through heart and chest. And as you exhale, tops of feet press, spread the toenails across the floor, gaze into your belly button. And go ahead and move through 3 more rounds here. And remember syncing your breath with movement, harmonizing our nervous systems. The last exhale in that cat, really, really round it out. Take an extra breath here. So we'll meet in the cat. This is where the navel's pulling up and back, the gaze is into the belly button. We'll take another full breath in, full breath out, round out a little bit more. And then on your next inhale, come on back to neutral spine. Good. We're going to step this right foot in between the hands. So you might even take your hand to the ankle and help it forward. And then inching the right foot up so that the ankle is slightly above the knee on the mat. And so there you can sink into your seat and the ankle is still below the knee a bit. Okay, so back toes tucked or untucked, whichever feels better for your back knee. You can always double stack your mat or take a blanket underneath that left knee, so take care as you need to. We're going to press into the top of the right thigh and start to lift up through your heart and chest. And then sweep your arms up overhead for low lunge pose. Swiveling the pinky fingers in towards you, open through the chest. Good. Maybe gazing up, more uplifting, or to the floor, more grounding. Take another full breath. Inhale. And as you exhale, frame that front foot. Good. Goes right arm up to the sky. You can gaze up towards the right fingertips, or you can look straight ahead, or down to the right toes. We'll take a full breath here, opening through the heart and chest. Breathe in, and then breathe out. Frame that front foot, hinge forward to send that right leg right on back. And we'll go to the other side, stepping the left foot forward. You can help it forward, framing the front foot. And then we'll sink into the seat so that you get a little stretch to that back calf, but still staying active through both front and back leg. We'll press the hands into the left thigh. And then as you inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Swivel the pinky fingers in towards you, broaden through your chest. Good. Gazing upward for more uplifting energy or to the floor for more grounding. We'll take one more breath. Breathe in And then breathe out. Frame this front foot. Right hand to the inside of the left foot, and then inhale, twist to your left. Left arm up high. You can gaze straight ahead or up to your left fingertips, allowing for a gentle twist in the upper back and the torso. One more full breath. Inhale. And then exhale, frame that front foot. Awesome, you guys. We're going to send that left leg back for tabletop and take a downward dog. So go ahead and tuck your toes, send your hips back to your heels, extend your arms out long, spread the fingers wide, and then we'll take the hips to the sky, sinking heavy into the heels. It's all right if they don't touch the floor, we're just working them towards the floor. Wrap the outer upper arm bones in, with the head and neck relaxed. And we're going to take about 3 to 4 more breaths here at your own pace. So you can be totally still for a little bit more grounding. Or if you want to move a bit here, you might walk the dog. So bending one leg, lengthen and press into opposite heel, and switching sides. Sinking both the heels into the floor. We'll start to walk the feet all the way up to the hands to the top of the mat. Let's take a breath in for half lift, and then breathe out, folding over the legs for ragdoll pose. So you can separate the feet a little bit wider than hip distance if you'd like. You can also bend your knees here a little bit or a lot, especially if the hamstrings or the back is tight. Bending the knees is really useful. If it feels alright, catch hold of opposite elbow and let your head and neck hang, face muscles relax. And we're going to hang here for about 3 more breaths. Maybe you bring in those sighs out of the mouth again, releasing any residual tension that we might have churned up during the practice. And then releasing the fingers out in front, drawing chin to chest, softly bend the knees, and take your next inhale to slowly roll all the way up. Imagine one vertebrae stacking at a time. We'll sweep the arms up overhead when you get there. Take a breath in, stretch through the fingers. If it feels okay, a little back bend can happen in the upper back, gazing straight ahead or to the sky. Inhale when you're ready. Exhale, come back through neutral spine. Bring the palms together in folds, right back on over the legs. Take an inhale for half lift. And then as you exhale, bring your hands to the floor, bend your knees enough so you can send one leg back, release the knee, and the other leg back, release the knee. We'll take child's pose here, so the knees can come about as wide as the mat. 2 big toes touch. Send the hips back to the heels and walk your arms out long. We'll rest the forehead down to the floor. And if it doesn't quite reach the floor, you can always take one fist or both on top of another and letting the forehead rest to the hands. Okay, we're going to make a little sound here if that feels okay. It's the sound And this is the sound of the third eye center. This is our energetic aspect of intuition and being able to see the bigger picture of our own lives and the world around us. So we'll take 3 at your own pace. You can rock your forehead side to side as you create the soothing sound of Great, and we'll slowly make our way up and into a seated position. So take your time, you can scooch to one side, swing the legs around, and bring the soles of the feet together. So hands can go to the ankles here, or you can interlace around your toes. butterfly. We'll take an inhale for length, and as you exhale, fold forward. Elbows can stay inside the body or they can come to the outside of the shins, whichever feels better for you. If you prefer to keep your spine long, you might stay upright, keeping the spine long and drawing the knees towards the floor. Otherwise, it's quite okay to let the back round here, even the upper back and the neck, and just letting the gaze drop inward. You have about 4 more breaths here, so there's time to go to a deeper place. So don't pull or push yourself in, allowing for the body to slowly open up. And complete your next exhale. And then take your time to slowly roll your way up. Guide the knees together, and we'll come back to the back. So take your time. You can flop your way down. And we'll set up similar to the way you started. So you can have Shavasana legs, or you might have the soles of the feet together, knees out towards either side, or that active rest where the feet are wide and the knees lock in. Your choice. We'll come full circle with a 3-part breathing practice, taking the right hand to the belly and the left hand to the heart. And just notice, self-study. Are there any changes in the way that the breath flows throughout the body, in the way that the mind receives the practice? Like, there's no need to be a change, but we're just witnessing that as well. When you're ready to inhale, breathing down into the belly, fully expanding the belly, ribs, chest, the collarbones rise upward towards the face. And when the urge to exhale is a bit strong for you, you'll slowly release the air. Collarbones drift back down, ribs draw back into the midline, navel pulls back and in as the air completely is released from those 3 parts. From that full and complete exhale, we'll begin again with the inhale. Belly, ribs, chest. When the urge is strong for you to exhale, you'll slowly release chest, ribs, belly, full and complete exhalation. Let's go ahead and do 2 more here at your own pace. Good. When you fully complete your next exhale, release your arms at your sides. And if you're super comfortable as you are, you can stay. Otherwise, coming to full Shavasana, the rest pose. Legs are out long, feet flop out to either side. Back of the head heavy, gaze soft, eyes closed. Nothing left to do here, just to be. And if you have the time to stay here a little bit longer, feel free to pause this video and stay for as long as you'd like. Otherwise, you'll take your time to come up and bend the knee. Roll your way to one side. Slowly press yourself back on up to sit. You can sit up on a prop or right to the floor into a seated position. And just take a moment to observe the energy of the body. We'll finish off with a mudra. Mudras are hand gestures meant to facilitate the practice in the energy, the mind, and the body. And we'll take two peace fingers together, squeeze them together, and then press them to either side of you. This is called Earth Mudra. It's very grounding, centering. You could do this any time of day. Feel the spine lengthen, crown of the head to the sky. We'll just take a few moments here. And taking your time to release that. We'll bring our hands together, thumb knuckle to the heart. I'll leave us off with a quote by Swami Kripalu. He says, "Self-observation is the highest form of spiritual practice. It's our biggest offering to the world around us." And I'll add to that, self-observation with compassion is key. So be gentle, be kind to yourself. Thank you for taking this time to go within. Namaste.